Hey guys, Ollie here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'll be showing you my uni portfolio that got accepted to all the ones I wanted to go to. I didn't send my application off to 2 out of the 5, so I got accepted to 3. But yeah, hope you enjoy. We're going to go through it. This is on Behance, so most unis will ask for a Behance or a PDF, but some have their own sites like PebblePad, or you might have to bring a physical copy. So this was obviously my last and latest version of the portfolio. So the first page is a project. This is the start of a project. So unis don't want to see finished work or just finished work. They want to see the process of why and how you've done certain things. So my inspiration was Converse and Vans for my reverse logo, which was my A-level project. So as you can see, I've started up some sketches and I've kind of just use Illustrator, which I've explained in these texts, which you don't need to have in graphic design, but I did like it. How I've kind of come to this outcome, why I've chosen that font and stuff like that. It's a very simple page. Then I've gone to my pattern inspiration for the brand. So here I've looked at Mount Fuji and the Chinese dragon. The theme of this brand was to kind of bring an Asian twist, because most brands have a Japanese size Uniqlo and Superdry have Japanese influences. Not too many brands have Chinese, so I wanted to kind of mix both together. So the risk with text with Photoshop is you might not get all of spelling, capitals, which I know there are spelling and capital mistakes in here, but this was accepted because I don't really look too much at the text. I was lucky enough to have online interviews where my portfolio didn't load for them, so I had to kind of share my screen. So therefore you can actually just pick out your best projects. Then you've got some design intention. So these are my inspiration pieces with the Spider-Man Jordans and these pattern ones where you've got the whole pattern going all the way through the Jordan, which is what I've kind of gone to here. So I've kind of started making the shoe. We've got little notes on what's going to happen in each section. Then there's some photos for the same project. I've made 2 pairs of shoes, so the Jordans and these kind of like high tops. I made an advertisement for the Jordans because they look good. I cut out myself and then put the logos on top left just to give it a clear meaning that it is my brand, that's my slogan, and up in the top left is a collaboration that's part of the collection. That's quite a clear message. So I went to Chinatown because they're Chinese design. Went up to London, took some nice pictures. So yeah, just also you'll notice the layout of this. See, this is one of the mistakes I made. This wasn't actually placed evenly. I did fix it after this, but yeah, this wasn't laid out properly, but it's still very clean. We don't have too much on each page either. It's quite a big thing. Anyway, yeah, I made a website for my brand, so you can kind of clearly see I've based off the Converse. We've got along the top the store, then I've got my pattern, a gallery, and about, which is quite important. Then this is the same project just earlier on before I actually made my brand. So I looked into Hey Riley here. Got a little title. Titles are important so they can navigate what they want to look at when they're looking at your portfolio when you're not in the room or in the call. So I've mixed D squared and diesel. Yeah, it's very simple. I use the D squared leaf, diesel text, and the little bar here from the other D squared logo with only the brave, which is another slogan from Diesel. I started with some sketches there, of course, which is actually quite a useful hack if you're using Illustrator or Photoshop with trying to get a layout. It's actually a little tip I'll give to you guys. Here I've got an illustration when I was kind of looking at DOM design, but I looked at DOM design early in the project, and this is not DOM design because it's textured, but in the style kind of DOM design. Anyway, I made a Travis Scott album cover. You can kind of see where it's come from. So here's a post from Travis Scott. I was trying to show how industries collaborate. So I've got the shoes there, and yeah, I've made that little album cover. I've got the Cactus Draw, one of the Cactus Jack logos, which I've actually got the mockers there on my shelf. But yeah, this is the final design. I made that actually in Spain, which was quite cool. But yeah, so I made a Costa coffee. This is actually year 12 work now. So end of year 12, this is when I start seeing my graphics develop. So again, photos here, it's quite clear. A little explanation to what's going on, where I've got the inspiration from for the stripes. Overall very simple. Little mock-up in the bottom left. If you don't know how to do mock-ups, I will do a video on it. I did post a reel on it on my Instagram, but I can explain it more in depth if you don't understand. Typography. Graphic design schools in particular love to see typographies. It's on every course, so they want to see it. So I took these images from Google or Behance, I can't remember where I got them from, maybe even Pinterest. And I ended up kind of developing it into this design where I kind of eyeballed it. There wasn't much intention behind it, but what I think it did do with the typeface is it kind of gave a more relaxed feel, especially with the gradients and the noise. I think it all worked together with a nice little line image overlapping. But yeah, I just think that design works. It's a people's favourite. That a lot of my teachers, my friends, the lecturers really liked it. So yeah, they're happy with that. Threshold images, I was just kind of going through a type of graphic I quite like. So I took this image of Travis Scott and turned it into that, which is quite, it's quite clean and can be used in poster. I actually made a Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't know his surname, poster with a threshold image, which was on my old portfolio. Here I've got Craig Black, and if you've seen my show reel, my new one, this features and it's spinning, which is quite cool. But yeah, very simple. They like to see artist responses because, sorry about that. They like to see artist responses because it kind of just sees how you can change something that's already good. But yeah. And then I've got Balgasm, which is just another artist response, really. This is kind of the start of where I sort of see my graphics kind of really take off a bit more, and I start to focus on why and how things are done. And little like layout was quite important for this. I see this little 365 and the seconds below it. This was a Movember piece, so this was more of a research study that I did. It didn't take me long. This is actually made for the sake of the portfolio, which you can do. But this was actually made in Movember, so it kind of made it easy for me to do it. Obviously I've got personal, ties to this, which is always what that's. It is a poster I was going to show you. This is actually on the portfolio. This is a threshold image. I've kind of got Greek Freak as it's his nickname, as I guess that's what we can call it. As you see, Google even calls him that. But yeah, a little line through it, a little more inspiration. So yeah, I just think that works. Custom typefaces, again, they like to see things like this. This is one of the pieces where I said I could improve, but what they really liked about this was my colour palette, which again is a really important thing to have as a designer. Here I've got a store poster for Kick Gamers. They actually saw this, which was quite cool. But the reason this poster works is because it's clear, it's got a lead to their website, it instantly tells you what type of store it is. But yeah. And I also think the typeface matches the brand as a whole, even though their font is a lot more simple. Then I got a t-shirt design which came from this came from the Weeknd's concert. So I actually showed this design on my older version of the portfolio to Greenwich, and they liked the actual artwork. It's just they didn't know why I did it, so I had to explain it. And I said, put it in the portfolio so it communicates better, which is why I've got inspirations in every slide pretty much. And even here, Introvert was actually one of my favourite Behance coffee brands. I think it's really cool. I really like the animation they did. So from there I kind of learned how to do it. Yeah, so I like the different elements of this, and I kind of took it onto my own, modern coffee brand. Then I've got a aftershave brand. Nothing too special about it. It's just, but again, people really like this logo. I don't know why. I think they like the box shape of it. I've had a few people come up to me and say, "Can you make me a pattern, a logo in this kind of format?" So that's what I did. This is the old MMP logo, which I did. So this is a client project, and I wanted to rebrand it because I wasn't happy with it, and obviously I got that off Canva, which I don't think I mentioned in here because I didn't really have much time to do it. But I've kind of made my own version of it now. I've made a newer version with these three logos. Gramaki was definitely the inspiration for this, as well as with the typeface. yeah, that's the reason I like that. But that is my accepted portfolio. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. I'm trying to do once a week. Check out my Instagram if you haven't already. And yeah, see you in the next one.